Yo, what's good? What's good? It's Tony, and I am back for another video. And in this one, I am in downtown Tampa, where I am shooting with the Nikon ZR in the 50-1.8, and I am excited to get out here and see what I can get. It's Friday, and I'm expecting to see a lot of the blue collar workers on their last day of the work week, and the white collars going out there to grab their lunch and whatnot around the city. So the last video was in the Riverwalk, and I wanted to separate the Riverwalk from downtown only because I wanted to give it as much attention as I possibly could. So today I will be walking down the streets, like I said, in downtown Tampa, and I am excited to see what kind of compositions I can get. Walk around some notable areas, some places where I find to be interesting, and see what kind of interesting characters we can get while we're here. So I don't want to waste too much time talking. Like I said before, the more I talk on here, the less time I have out there. So we're going to get right into it. So this is one of my favorite areas in the downtown Tampa area, and that's the Tampa Theater. I really love the nostalgic feel of this. And usually you get a nice pocket of light right at the bottom on the sidewalk. So what I'll do here is wait for this car to move and see what kind of subjects I can get in the frame. So here's another composition that I really enjoy. I think what I like about it the most is like the shapes and designs of the building. And then you have this like caged garage area with a red exit sign just above it, and I like how it's in the shadow, and it kind of forces the subject to walk right into the light, so they will pop right out, and it's more of like a side light at the moment, so they'll get the light like right in their face, and it'll likely wrap around them. So we're gonna see how that looks, and may have to come by a little later during the lunch break because that's when you get the most traffic. So just hang out here for a bit, see what we can get, and if not, we'll come back. Here's another composition I like, using the reflection, and it cuts off right where those steps are at. So it kind of gives the photo a little bit of depth, and playing with the shadows. I'm using highlight metering, so we're gonna get a lot of negative space, to make compensation for the highlights in the bright areas. So now I'm just waiting for someone to be using the crosswalk. We'll see what we can get here.
And with this composition, what I really wanted to utilize was this taco truck. And with that, what I really wanted to capture was the reflection of people walking across the crosswalks, and kind of using the reflection in the window pane as like a frame while getting that reflection of individuals crossing. This scene I particularly like a lot. This is one of my favorite places, mainly because of the brutalist architecture, and I really like the framing is very minimal, very clean aesthetic, and I like that there's a light right above the person as they're walking up or down. So that's what I was looking for here. And with this composition, I really wanted to use the pole as a foreground object in order to kind of remove a little bit of the distraction, just to kind of minimize my composition with somebody walking down the stairs or up the stairs. And that's what I was looking for here. So that wrapped up my time in the downtown Tampa area, and I enjoyed walking around and taking a look at the area in a different way, looking for compositions that I normally wouldn't necessarily look at due to the nature of the type of photos that I was taking previous to this journey. But I definitely love what I got. I think it really showcases the area in a way that I have not really seen and I hope to go back in a different time of day, preferably around the golden hour time frame. So I want to say somewhere between 6 and 8 o'clock, just to get a different way of viewing the city, especially with the light's position and how they will interact and play with some of the buildings and some of the compositions that I was looking at during that time, because it was mostly around the lunchtime. So it was like midday, a lot of harsh light, which really helps with shadows and, you know, the contrasty type of images. But I also want to play around with some different compositions using a different type of light. So overall, the downtown Tampa area provides quite a bit to work with if you are looking around and taking your time. One thing I will say is that due to it not being such a dense area, you're not going to see a lot of people walking around unless, you know, they're going to or from work, grabbing lunch or something. So maybe during the weekends you might see a little bit more people. That's something that I'll have to test out and kind of see what that will provide for me. But other than that, I am happy with the fact that when it's not such a busy time, you know, you can find that one person to fill that frame in your composition that really helps put the photo all together, instead of, you know, somewhere where it's extremely busy and you have to be a little bit more patient waiting for that one person across the frame without a bunch of people passing by or anything like that. So that is one positive to being somewhere where it's not so busy. So that wraps up this video. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them down below. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your time, and I will catch you all on the next one.